This call is now being recorded.
Okay, this call is now has been recorded. Like usual, I will record this this meeting or this class, and then I will also take an attendance. Yeah, entire screen window. Okay, can you see my presentation now?
Okay.
Can okay. So yesterday we already learned 1.1, that is the human nervous system. If you have any question later on, you can ask me. And then now we continue to learn the next topic for today, that is 1.2, the stimuli and responses in human. Okay, if you still remember, we already learned about what is the meaning of the stimuli, the example of stimuli, and what is the responses. Okay, can anybody tell me what is the example of stimuli that we already learned yesterday? Miss Annie or everyone else, what is the meaning the stimuli? What is the stimuli? The example of stimuli. Anybody? Okay, Miss Annie said hot, yes, cool. Okay, that is the example of the stimuli. Stimuli usually the what we call the things or the condition that around us. That is the stimuli. Okay, hot and then cold and then the pressure, that is the stimuli. And then what is the response? What is the response? Response is the what we take off the hand. Okay, Miss Annie said take off the hand when hot. That is one of the example of response. Okay, so you must understand that before we continue. All right, so they said here that human face constant changes in the our surrounding is always changing. The most what we call noticeable changes in our surrounding is the weather, right? In the morning we feel cold, and then when gradually become in the evening or in the afternoon, and then the surrounding, the temperature become hot, a little bit hot. So that is the example of what we call the changes in surrounding. These change are called the stimuli. Okay, there are many type of stimuli, but this is only easy for you to understand. One of the stimuli we learn, like Miss Annie said, is the what? The cold, the surrounding temperature, whether it is cold or it is hot. Okay, what is the another example of stimuli? We have got here light. Okay, we got the sound, and then chemical substance. These are the other type of stimuli that we detected. And then how can we detect this stimuli? We have what we call on our body that we call sensory organ. Sensory organ to detect this stimuli. Right? Can you understand this? Yeah. Stimuli is the changes in the surrounding. Stimuli is the changes in the surrounding. Changes in the surrounding. And then example of stimuli is light, sound, and chemical substance. And then how we detect the stimuli? Because our body have what we call a sensory organ. Sensory organ. Special organ that located in our skin, okay, located deep under our skin to detect the cold, to detect the heat, and then to detect the pain, touch, and everything else. Okay, right. So in Form 3, you are going to learn about our 5 sensory organ here. 5 sensory organ, that is our eyes, ear, nose, skin, and tongue. All right, there are 5 sensory organs you need to learn in Form 3. Okay, as shown in the photograph 1.6. Okay, these are the sensory organs you need to learn. Sorry, 230%. Sense of sight. Eyes is the name of the organ, yeah? Here, eyes, ear, this is what we call the name of the organ. Okay, this one is the name of the organ, name of sensory. Sorry, it's what we call it a sensory organ. Okay, these are the name of the sensory organ. How many sensory organ? 5, yeah? Remember, eyes, and then ears, nose, tongue, and skin. And then what are the senses or what are the stimuli received by the sensory organ? We call it, for example, if the sensory organ is our eye, so our eye will have the sense of sight. Sense of sight. Okay, this is the what we call what we sense. Okay, name of the organ, eyes. I give you one example only. Name of the organ is the eyes. Eyes of the name of the organ or name of the part of the body. And then what it sense, it will sense of sight. Sight ini adalah penglihatan. Okay, sense of sight. Sight ini adalah penglihatan. And then another one. The sense of sight here mean what type of stimuli it receive. Anybody? What is the stimuli received by the eye to sense the sight? What are the stimuli here? You still remember how many the type of stimuli? We have hot, we have cold, and then we have what? Light, sound, and chemical substance. In eyes, for example, in our eye, what is the stimuli received by our eye? What is the stimuli? Anybody? Esther Elsie Chan, yes, correct. The stimuli that receives by Leng Wen Jin, okay, also very good. The stimuli is the stimuli received by the eye is the light here. Okay, understand? So the rest of the sensory organ, for example, ear. The rest of the sensory organ, for example, ear. What is the sense the ear will sense of hearing, and then what are the stimuli for ear? Anybody? The stimuli for ear, the ear receive what? The ear receive Liu Wenjing. Yes, very good, accurate, very absolutely correct answer. The ear receive the sound. Sound is the what example of stimuli, and then sense of hearing is the what we call the what are the sense that we receive? Sense of hearing, sensory organ is ear, and then the stimuli is sound. Okay, and then for nose, sense of smell. Sense of smell, the stimuli is the chemical substance. The sensory organ tongue is the sense of taste, boleh rasa. The stimuli for tongue is chemical substance. Okay, and then for the skin, it is what we call the sense of touch, and then the stimuli is what? The stimuli is we can feel the pain, we can feel the cold, we can feel the heat, and the pressure. Yeah? We can feel the pressure here. All right, pressure, pain, cold, hot, and then what? And these four sense of touch. What is the sensory organ? Sensory organ is the skin, right? Any problem about this? Is it okay? Esther, nope. Kia Kivun, okay. Wenjing also okay. Machine, no. Okay, very good. Right. Okay, let us continue. Right. So you need to study. Misalnya, okay, very good, very good. I continue, yeah. So we need to study each of the sensory organ related to our body. Okay, in order for our body to sense the changes on the surrounding or to sense the stimuli. Right. So I continue. Number one is eye. Okay. Like usual, you need to understand the parts of the eye. This one here, the front view of the eye, you need to understand and maybe you need to memorize this a bit lah. So this is the outer view from the eye. We have number one, what we call a sclera. This is sclera. And then iris, and then at the middle we call it pupils. Okay, iris, sclera, and pupil. Just remember the parts, identify the parts of it. Okay, sclera is the white parts of the eye, the surface, the outer surface of the eye that look white in color. We call it sclera. Okay, sclera. Okay, at the middle of the eye, the black one. Okay, in the middle we call it pupils, and then surrounding the pupils are the iris. Okay, next one. All right, I need to rotate the page, so you wait for a few seconds. I need to rotate the page first, yeah. Okay, right. This one. sorry. Oh, okay, this one. Can you see? Can you see the presentation? Wow, so many parts of the eye you need to remember. Can you see it? Okay, never mind. Just like the other, what we call system and the organ on the human, you need to identify the name and then the function of each, the function of each part of the eye. And then this is what? Actually, this is the cross section of the eye. This is the cross section of the eye. How many parts you need to know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. About 15 parts you need to remember. Okay. Can you remember this? Never mind. Right? Don't worry. It's relatively very easy right now. All right. So we take a look the front parts of the eye. Okay. We have the front here. I start with the cornea first. Okay. I try to zoom in a bit. Okay, where is the... all right, okay, this one. 300%. Okay, this is what we call the front part of the eyes here. Okay, the front part of the eyes. We have the first layer here. We call it a cornea. Outside here, this is the cornea first. So the cornea is, what is the function? Transparent layer which refract and focus light into the retina. Okay, where is the light coming from? The light coming from outside here. Okay, the light will coming from outside. This is where the light come from. Okay, this is where the light come from. And then what is the cornea do? Refract and focus the light into the retina. So the light from outside will enter the eyes through the cornea first. Okay. And then it will go through the, what we call an iris. Number 2, iris. Okay. Iris is in here. What is the function of iris? To control the size of the pupil. And then also iris is the color part of the eye. Okay, like if you go to the Caucasian, the American or the white people, they have blue eye. Sometimes they have green eye. Okay, which part of the eyes that has different color? That is the iris. Okay, and then it will control the size of pupil. It will control the size of pupil. This is the size of pupil. Okay, iris will control the size of the pupil. And then number 3, what is the pupils? Pupils is just the opening in the center of the iris where control the quantity of light here. Okay, maybe in the bright sunny day, the iris will be small or will be bigger. If very bright room or bright sunny day, what is the opening of the iris? Become big or become small? If very bright light. Chong Mei-shin, small. Liu Wenjing, oh, very small. Yes, very good. Misalnya small. Okay. So when you enter a bright room or you suddenly from your home, you go outside where there is a very, very, very bright light, so the pupil will become smaller. And then who control the size of the pupil? What is the part control the size of the pupil? Is the iris. Okay, the iris will control. Yes, Miss Ani, correct. The iris will control the size of the pupils, right? Okay. And then if you can see here, the next one is the the eye lens. This is the eye lens here. Okay, eye lens here will control the transparent and elastic convex lens which focus light onto the retina. Okay, this is what we call the lens here. When the lights come from outside, it will focus the light to the retina. For example, if I can draw the lights here. Okay, if I can draw the lights here. Okay, if I can draw the lights here, the lights will come from outside, go to the cornea, and then enter the iris, and then enter the lens. Okay, the lights. The lights here will come from outside, go through the cornea, and then go to the into the pupils, and then go to the lens here. And then what is the function of lens? It will focus, the focus or refract the light to the retina, so that it will go to the retina. It will focus. It will focus. Right? Sorry. So I will delete it first. Okay, again. This is the light, for example. This is the light enter, and then it will focus to the retina. Okay. This is another light enter, and then it will focus into the retina. Okay, so this is retina. Later on, this is retina. Okay, this is the function of the lens here. It will focus the light, and then it can be adjusted by what we call the size of the lens here. Adjust by what we call a suspensory ligament here. Suspensory ligament will hold the eyes in the position, and then it may change the size of the lens here. Okay, can you understand this? Right. And then for that, the rest of the parts we have here the yellow spot, and then if you see here, there are 3 layers of the eyes here. We call it sclera, right? We call it sclera, choroid, and retina. 3 layers here. Okay, there are 3 layers here: choroid, sclera, and retina. Okay, so you just need, and then you just open your textbook, and then you need to read the other part of the eye. Okay, can. And then inside the eyes, we have two type of humor. Humor mean here, this one, humor mean here, the what we call the jelly like, the jelly like substance inside the eye, so that the eye maintain their shape. Okay, there are two types of humor. One is vitreous humor. Vitreous humor, the jelly like substance that is inside the eye here. And then the second humor, we call it aqueous humor. Aqueous humor is the part between the cornea and then the lens. Okay, this is aqueous humor. This is what we call aqueous humor. Okay, and then for the rest of the parts, I think you can try to read it yourself. All right, I won't explain it. Okay, you can read it first lah, yeah? Because there are too many parts here. So I need you to go back, and then when you got your textbook, and then we can read again lah, yeah, the parts and function of the eye here. Is it okay? I cannot go through all lah because it will take time. Okay, I need you to read it first, right? I hope we can do that lah. Huh? Okay. Any question? Okay. J.E. Mason. Okay, no. All right, good. Okay. Next one is what is the color? What is the color the object seen? If you still remember in Form 1, you already learned about lights and optic, right? You already learned about the primary color and then the secondary color, right? So human is very special. Excuse me. Human is very special because our eye can detect many color. Okay, our eye can detect many color. So how human can detect so many color? Okay, because of the retina here. You understand where is the retina? Retina is the inner layer of the eyes. Yeah, this one is the retina here. The inner layer of the eye here, meaning we call it a retina. Retina will receive the light, and then it will send the message of the light to the brain to be interpreted. Okay, so inside the retina, there are what? Inside the retina, they have two photoreceptors. This is when we enlarge the retina. Yeah? You still remember what is retina? The inner layer of the eyes. There are three layers of the eye, right? Sclera. We have sclera. We have choroid. Okay. We have sclera outside, choroid in the middle, and then retina in the inner layer. Okay. The inner layer of the eyes. And then what are the parts between these three layers? The parts that receive the light is the retina. And then if we zoom the retina, there are photoreceptor. What is the photoreceptor? There are the special cell inside the retina that receive the light. Okay, photoreceptor. There are two photoreceptor. Number one is what we call a rod cell, and then the second one we call it a cone cell, as shown in the figure. This one is what we call by the rod cell, and then this is the cone cell, right? So what is the function of the rod cell? Rod cell here are the sensitive to light intensities. How bright is the light is detected by the rod cell. And then for the cone cell here will detect what? The cone cell will detect the colors of the light under the bright lights, yeah, because there is three main color here, that is red, green, and blue. Okay, Is it okay? When the light's coming in, there are two types of photoreceptor. One is rod cell and one is cone cell. The rod cell will detect the intensity of the light. Okay, because there are different brightness of the light, right? Okay, and then the cone cell here will detect the color of the color of the red, mainly red, green, and blue. Okay, any problem with the eye? Now is 12:08. Is it okay? Wenjing okay. Meishin okay. Jiawei okay. I'm using the same. If you look here, I'm also using the handphone to, to see my presentation here. I see my own presentation here. Okay. Where is the change background? I'm working from home. If you, if you notice, I'm also seeing the presentation here by using my phone, right? So I can see lah what you're doing, right? Okay. So finish ear, finish eye. There are how many how many more to learn? Ears. There are how many sensory organ? There are eyes, and then ears, and then nose, and then tongue, and then skin. There are 5. So eyes already finished. Any problem? Can I continue with the next sensory organ? Can I continue? Can, Sure. You and Jing, can. Okay, good. I will stop maybe about 12:20 or 12:25 like that, yeah? Okay, good. So the second sensory organ we need to know is our ear. And then also, okay, like usual, there are the cross section of the ear, and then also there is the parts of the ear that you need to identify and then to understand their function. Okay, but for this for ear, I will skip this, and then I hope you can read the label or the parts of the ear and its function for yourself. Is it okay? You try to what we call read the function and the parts of the ear for yourself, because this is very easy one. Okay, maybe the only very difficult things here, maybe you want to remember the parts lah, but it's okay. Okay, you try to what we call identify it first. I will skip this. Okay, I will skip this. All right. Okay, page 13 is the cross section of human ear, and then its part, bahagian-bahagian dia. Ini ini bahagian-bahagian dia, ya. And then the next page 14. So this is the name, the parts of the ear, the structure of the ear, and the function of the ear here. Okay, so I need you to just to what we call try to understand and read it first. Okay, only label. Okay, you identify the label, and then you identify the parts and their function. This is only for the ear. Okay, again, what are the stimuli? What is the stimuli for ear? Anybody? What is the stimuli for the ear? Misani also. Okay, very good, Misani. The stimuli for the ear is, of course, the sound. Sound from the outside, yeah? From the changes in the environment. The stimuli is the sound here. Okay, next one. Sensory organ number 3 is our is our nose. Okay, same things. You try to remember the parts and function, and then I think in nose there is not much parts and function you need to identify lah, yeah. Just a nostril here, right? Just a nostril. Nostril is the lubang hidung lah. We call it nostril, nostril. Okay, and then the nose, and then this where the air come in, air enter, and then the sensory cell. This is important one. These are the what we call the sensory cell that receive the stimuli and then send the signal to the brain. Okay, because we can different between many type of smell, right? If we smell better, if we smell very fragrance flower, for example, we smell the food, we smell the, also if you smell the what we call the smelly or bad odor, bad smell also we can identify. So how we identify the smell? Because all the signal, all the smell, all the what we call the chemical substance that enter our nose, received by the sensory organ and then interpreted by the brain. Brain already know whether the chemical substance is a very bad smell or very good smell. All right. So this is the cross section or the zoom section of the sensory cell. We have nerve, and then we have sensory cell, and we have mucus. What is mucus? Anybody can tell me what is mucus? Mucus inside our nasal cavity. This is the inside of the nose. We call it nasal cavity. What is mucus? M-U-C-O-U-S. Mucus here. Apa itu mucus? Siapa faham? What is mucus? Mucus is the kahak. Oh, kahak. Not the kahak, ya. Siapa yang cakap kahak ini? Esther. Kahak is from our throat. This is kahak. Mucus ini macam kita punya hingus, bukan tahi hidung. Yo, misalnya, not the tahi hidung. Tahi hidung is very, yang sudah jadi keras itu. The hardened one is we call tahi hidung. Hingus, ya. Kita punya mucus ataupun hingus selalu ada di dalam hidung. That's why inside our nasal cavity here is always moisture. Always moist. Always moist inside. Kena lembab. Dia tidak boleh kering. Why? Because of the mucus. Ya. Hingus, ya, bukan tahi hidung. Mucus. Sorry. In Malay we call it hingus. Okay. In English, and then we call it mucus. Ya, mucus. Right? Kalau tahi hidung tu yang sudah keras, selalu korek-korekkan keluar. Okay. So never mind. Itu yang sudah keras lah. We call it mucus, right? Why we need mucus? Because we want to able our nose to smell very well. If there is no mucus, we cannot smell. If there is no mucus, we cannot smell very well. That's why we need the mucus. All right? Okay, next. Okay, you just understand the structure and the function of the nose here. Okay, and then I will also skip this. Next one, our tongue. Okay, lidah. Okay, so what is the stimuli for tongue? Stimuli of tongue is the chemical substance. Okay, the stimuli for the tongue, we call it a chemical substance in food. Chemical substance in food that can receive what? That can receive the taste of this food. Okay. If you go back to the structure of nose, what is the stimuli for the sense of smell? The stimuli for sense of smell is the chemical substance, but chemical substance in air. That's why we can smell, because chemical substance in air, sometimes we can smell it. This is for nose. The stimuli in the air for nose. And then for the tongue, we can taste because there is a chemical substance in the food, right? So you can see the parts and then the cross section of the taste bud in the papillae in the tongue. You can read it for yourself, and then the uh, structure of the tongue, and then this one very, and then the taste. What is the taste we what we call what are the type of taste here? How many type? Sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. Okay, make sure you understand this. Okay, we can taste sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. What is umami? Umami is just like Ajinomoto lah. Ajinomoto taste umami because sometimes it just a mix of sweet, salty, and sour. Sometimes you can feel the three taste in one time. We call it umami. And then Ajinomoto is the example of umami taste. Okay, boleh Okay, the rest of the function you can read it for yourself. Okay, next one, the last one. This is the last one. The sensory organ of our skin. Okay, our skin. Okay, and then you must understand the structure, the cross section of our skin. This is the cross section of our skin. Divided into three parts, that is epidermis layer, three layer, not three part by three layer, epidermis, dermis, and fat layer. This is the last sensory organ in human. We call it skin. Okay, and then we have hair here, the oil gland, and then this I need to remember. There are 4 receptor. One is cold receptor, number 2 is pain receptor, number 3 is heat receptor, number 4 is touch receptor. Okay, need to understand different type of receptor inside our skin. 4 receptor. Okay, receptor mean the parts of the organ, the parts of the cell that receive the stimuli. For example, cold receptor here detect cold. Pain receptor detect the pain. Heat receptor detect the heat, and then touch will detect the touch stimuli or the pressure stimuli here. Okay. So you need to understand the 4 type of sensory cell in our skin. Okay, cold receptor, pain, heat, and touch receptor. There are 4 receptor inside our skin here. Okay. Alright, that's all for today. Okay, ini saja. You have any problem? Ada soalan?
No.
No. Okay, very good. So what I need to do? Okay, you already got your workbook? Sudah beli ke belum? Saya lupa lah. Belum lagi ya. Textbook also not yet, right? So today they arrange for Form 4. Today they arrange for Form 4 textbook. I will show you the picture lah. Tunjuk you gambar. Ini untuk Form 4 punya. Saya tunjuk you sajalah, saja seronok-seronok sajalah. This one in Form 4. Form 4 already get the what? The book. Can you see the picture? Okay, what? This one. This is Form 4. Drive-through only, you know, drive-through. But for Form 3, Form 2, Form 1, I don't know. They will arrange it later lah. Can you see the picture? Today Form 4. Form 4 get their textbook. Textbook or what here? Yeah, textbook. They return the textbook and then find the new one. Boleh nampak gambar ni? Kan? Ini form 4. Ini cuma cikgu-cikgu sedang tolong lah. Sedang tolong memberi. Yes, drive thru lah macam McD. McDonald. Tak payah turun. Kalau you naik motor, kalau kamu naik motor, turunlah kan. Kalau naik kereta, like this. Macam ni sajalah. See? Just drive through. Form 3, wait for information. Always look for the latest information on our Telegram, your class group Telegram, or in our Facebook lah. Okay? Mungkin ada, nantilah berperingkat-peringkat. Because why? You know the COVID things are very, very, very hard lah. Never mind. So, if I have any, what we call exercise, I will give you the exercise, the instruction on Telegram group. Okay? So, if you have any question, you can ask. No question? But like usual, if you do not want to ask the question here, you always can ask me on our Telegram group and our Google Classroom. And then also one more thing, if you have any problem with your Google ID, the MOE ID one, you can also ask me. Okay? So any problem? No problem, right? So I will give, if I get the what we call the exercise, I will give you on the Google Classroom on our Telegram. Okay? Is it okay? Nation okay, King Kiloy okay, Liu Wenjing also okay, Kivun okay, all right. Oh, just K only Kivun okay lah, no problem lah. Okay, so we need to take the screenshot first. Stop presenting. Okay, screenshot for today is done. All right. So that's it for today. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for your focus. Then we see you all back again next week lah. Next week on Tuesday. Okay. If I ain't got any information, I will put it into your Telegram. Right? Okay. You can leave the class now. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye. Bye bye. Kivun, Singiru. Bye bye, Jawan. Esther.